Welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by Seth Purcell, the co-founder of Flat, and he's going to chat to us today about his company and a little bit about himself. Thank you so much for joining us today, Seth. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good, good. So tell me about Flat. What do you guys do?
So, Flat is a new kind of teamwork app that solves these two huge problems with modern work. Um, the first one being that we spend a lot of our time hunting for things, that we tend to have bits and pieces of our work scattered all over the place. You want to do something, and maybe there are emails about it over here, and there are chats about it over here, and maybe there's a spreadsheet with some tasks, and there are some files in Google Drive or something.
Yep.
And as a result, we're like, very difficult to find just everything we need to get the work done, and we are prone to distraction, and it's hard to see everything that's happening and what we need to focus on. So that's problem number one. And problem number two is um, we've all been part of this weird social experiment over the past decade of like, hey, what if we just chatted each other all day long and made it impossible to get our actual work done? I
Yeah.
think that experiment, the results are in, and it's not a great way to get our work done. So we all have this experience of coming to work and thinking like, great, like where's all my stuff? What's going on? What do I need to focus on? And then like trying to do some work. And then someone's like, oh, hey, can you help me with this thing? Or I have a question, or where are we getting lunch today?
Hmm.
In software that's supposed to be making us more productive, that is, ostensibly intended to make us more productive in aggregate, just trashes our productivity to the point where when people want to get work done, they walk away from their computers if they can, or they turn off their internet, right? They try to go dark, right? Go off the grid, block
Yeah.
off time on their calendars, right?
Mhm.
And um, we think we have the answer to that. And in a word, it's simplicity. Um, and our app is designed to be absolutely unobtrusive and stay out of your way and be the simplest possible place where a team can just say, here's what we're doing, and describe it and talk about it in a way that doesn't interrupt anyone and doesn't have all these downsides of chat. Like, I ask you to do something, and then someone else chats you, and you forget that I asked you to do that thing, and now I have to remember that I asked you, or I forget that I asked you. It's ridiculous, right? So we're building this tool that makes work just sane again,
Mm.
right? And it makes it very, very easy, and the ease of use and the simplicity are everything, because there are tons of tools in this space that like recognize the value of writing down what the team's priorities are, and what they need to
Yeah.
focus on, but
Yeah.
they're so complicated, they end up being part of the problem, not part of the solution. And I talk to people all the time who are like, my boss tries to get me to use Asana, but I refuse. Like, that actually, like, someone came up and said that to me, and she was all proud. And like, I'm just not doing it. And, I talk to, especially like management and senior management are
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing that. Like they look at it and they're like, I'm out. Nope, this is not happening. And they go back to the tools that are simple, that they
Mm.
understand, like a notepad and
Yeah.
a spreadsheet, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, if you try to do too much in these tools, you end up just failing to serve the team, right? All the team needs is a place to write down what they're working on, and like to
Mhm.
stick it on a whiteboard and say,
Mhm.
here are the priorities. Everyone got it, which is
Mhm.
incredibly valuable to create that focus. And then a place to chat about it, preferably in that context. So you're reading this thing and you're like, oh, I actually have a question about how we're going to do this. And you just hit one button, you ask your question, you post it, and then that ball is not going to get dropped in Flat. It's impossible to drop that ball. It stays
Yeah.
there, it's assigned to you. You can't lose track of it. And so, me, as the person who posted the comment, I can relax. I don't have
Mhm.
anxiety about like, oh, I need to like email them and chat them, and I do all these things to make sure that
Yeah.
ball's not going to get dropped. So it just what the product provides is clarity and
Mm,
focus and protects focused work. And we think it's a huge deal.
amazing. Yeah, definitely. I mean, with all the it's very distracting. I can tell you that because I work in the startup and I've resorted to writing notes down because I know that if I open another thing and I write something else down, I'm just gonna get distracted. And so yeah, I rely on that. I hear you. So is it yeah, what's your story? Why did you start Flap?
So, for about a decade, I ran engineering teams at startups. So I was a VP of engineering and a CTO.
Hmm.
And in that role, you get very used to being able to see what's going on. You can see what's happening because we're always using some tool like Jira, or smaller teams can use Trello, but we're using something because we can't afford to lose track of the features that are being built and the bugs that are being fixed, right? They have to be tracked. So
Yeah.
engineers are all used to tracking their work, even on very small teams. Even solo engineers will usually like map out the work and track it in one of these tools. And
Yeah.
so, as an engineering leader, my team had a place to keep track of everything. They didn't love it; it was really frustrating, actually, but they had a place,
Yeah.
and I didn't. So all of my work was, like performance management, recruiting, reorganizations,
Mhm.
initiatives with other members of the exec team. And you would expect that, like, if any team had its stuff together in this way, it would be the executive team. And you'd be
Yeah.
wrong. The executive teams are always a mess. And I think the reason is the tools aren't aimed at them. You
Mm.
have CRM tools, those are aimed at sales reps. You have
Yeah.
service desk tools aimed at customer support reps, and you have task tracking tools aimed at software developers. You have all these wonderful tools, and they're really like rich and powerful and sophisticated, and they're way too much for the
Mm.
management team. So
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I just had, a simple set of priorities that I was trying to do every week. And I would often be working on these with my director of engineering, with my engineering managers. And
Mm.
we're all just using like paper
Yeah.
because we're not going to put this stuff in Jira, right?
Mm.
We're not going to be tracking performance management in Jira. Of the team. I'm sure we could figure out like some way to make that work, but it's just
Mm.
not a good fit. We
Yeah.
just wanted a very, very simple space. And we're the technical crowd, right? Like the head of marketing is not going to use Jira, right? And so the marketing team is over there using Trello, right?
Yeah.
But not the marketing management team, right?
Mm.
So there's like this balkanization and like all these little silos, and what you have is like you're working on one thing. So I'd be working on, let's say a reorganization of the product and engineering team, right? And I'd be working on that with my head of engineering, and we'd have ideas and conversations about it, and that wouldn't really live anywhere except like in our notepads.
Yeah.
um, and we couldn't easily share it with anyone like the rest of the exec team and say like, hey, here's how we're trying to kind of like align to what the company is doing. And
Mm.
I thought this was crazy as an engineering manager, and so we started Flat to build a tool that is, we like to say, so simple even the CEO can use it, which is a really high bar.
Yeah.
CEOs cannot use it. I mean, they just don't have the time. Like, I'm not learning this. Um,
That's true. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So then, how long has Flat been running for?
about 3 years. Yeah, we
Okay.
raised a small pre-seed round of funding in January of 2021. So we're coming up on 3 years.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Cool. And what's your vision for Flat?
Our vision for the product, I would say, is a world where millions of people come to work, open up Flat, look at
Mm.
their planner, which is the part of the app that shows you what's on your plate and lets you
Mhm.
prioritize it, and say, great, this is what I need to do
Yeah.
with 100% confidence. And then they start working on something and close the app, close their browser, just close everything except, the tool they need to like write the performance review or write the
Yeah.
proposal that they need, right? And they can focus because they close chat and they don't need chat to do their
Yeah.
jobs anymore, right? And they can get their work done and get into that flow state and be there for an
Mm.
hour and feel like I did actual work, right? I
Yeah.
didn't just chat about stuff and email to set up meetings. Like I actually moved the needle on something. I got this thing close
Yeah.
to completion, or maybe I completed something and that feels really good. And then they can go and open up Flat and check their pending messages and get back
Mm.
to people and have this cadence of serial focus, right?
Yeah.
Focus, check in, help some people, take a break, focus, block, right? And then at the end of the day, have a sense of accomplishment
Yeah.
and not like, where did my day go? That was crazy. I didn't get anything done. All I
Yeah.
did was like chat and email and bounce around between apps and be distracted, right? That has to stop. So that's our vision for the business. It's just work is sane again. It
Mm.
has that clarity and that focus that has just gradually been eroded. And
Mm.
we can get back to, what is really good for people and their companies, right? It's
Yeah.
really good for people because we get our work done. We're less stressed. We're happier. We're doing the work we love. And we have that sense of accomplishment. And it's good for companies because like everyone is genuinely more productive, right?
Yeah.
When we're in that flow state and doing the hard work. So that's our vision is work isn't this crazy hyperactive hive mind, as this one
Mm.
author calls it. It's this just kind of like calm. Like
Mm.
when people look at our app, they're like, "This is amazing! It feels so relaxing." Right? That's by design. It's incredibly difficult to design an app that feels relaxing. Right?
Yeah.
A calm, relaxing workday that's actually much more productive and valuable to the employer than
Mm.
a hyper scatterbrained workday. So
Yeah.
that's our vision, and basically trying to fix work for knowledge workers. And our vision for the business is we want to be the platform that makes that happen.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, that's amazing and very important in today's day and age with everyone on the neuro spectrum and stuff. I feel like, it would definitely help a lot of people. So is it interdepartmental or like would I be able to chat to other departments on the app?
Absolutely. Yeah, one of our main concerns is the silo effect that can happen when teams are using different tools, usually because one team is like a development team is doing something like very heavyweight like Jira, and then
Mhm.
the leadership team or the marketing team are just absolutely like, that's a non-starter, we're going to use something very simple. And
Yeah.
what you see in these tools a lot of the time is what I think is the wrong design decision, where they um, like reflect the org chart. They try to get you to say like, oh, create your department in our app, and what that ends up doing is making it even harder for departments to work cross
Mm.
functionally.
Yeah.
And like all the really important work is cross functional. So in Flat we have this concept of a workspace, and we say a workspace can be for anything, for a cross-functional project. It's like a conference room. And
Mm.
if your company is doing a fundraise and the whole exec team and the finance team needs to be in there, that's the right team. And if your company is doing a product launch, right, have the right people, create a workspace for that product launch and have it in there. And you
Mm.
don't have a ton of workspaces, so it's kind of a big deal when you have one. And they're great for you know pulling people out of their silos and getting them to work together. That's 100% what they're designed for.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. So, you've been running for 3 years. I'm sure you've had a lot of challenges and stuff. So, what are some current challenges or projects that you're working on?
We've been really focused on the product for a long time, making sure that the product is amazing and our customers love it. And recently, we've been tacking more into our marketing. We just launched a new website, and we're going to be investing a lot more in that. We're going to be posting a lot of content, and we're going to start having probably some video content as well, and just making sure that we are explaining the product, which is, like I said, incredibly simple, but it's
Mhm.
still, it still requires some explanation to get people to have that light bulb moment. So that's what we're
Yeah.
focused on now, is making sure that we're really conveying it on the website and in other
Mm.
places in a way that clicks with people and resonates with them, and they understand what we're trying to do.
Okay, great. So, in terms of opportunities for our community, would you be looking at more sort of marketing and salespeople?
I I think, yeah, specifically um, within marketing, our biggest gap right now, where we could
Hmm.
probably use help, is people who have done video tutorials. That's
Okay.
something that we don't have in house, and we think our customers and potential customers would
Hmm.
really appreciate, is having some explainer videos for different
Yeah.
parts of Flat.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's definitely something that we could connect you with. So that's great. Um, is there anything else, or you pretty set on that?
I think that's it for now.
Mm,
Um, we are mostly focused on um, putting together our initial kind of like marketing campaigns right now,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
we have a lot of people working with us on that, who are great,
Okay.
in a distributed team.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time, Seth. It's been lovely chatting to you.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, thank you very much for sharing with us. And hopefully we'll get you connected to the right people.
That'd be great. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.